أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today's quick review is on the topic of Qalqala. Qalqala is another sifa we're going to cover today, inshallah. And it's going to just be quickly covered because this was covered last 2 weeks ago. As you know, Qalqala means echo, right? To echo. There is an echoing sound in Qalqala. And we know the letters of Qalqala. Everyone knows the letters of Qalqala. They are the letters of Qutub Jid. So you know Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim and Da are the letters of Qalqala. And Qalqala happens on the condition of Sukun, right? When there is a Sukun on these letters, the Qalqala happens. And Qalqala happens when there is Sukun on these letters. Okay. And what is the character? When you look at these letters, you know, first of all, the letters here are also the letters of Shidda. We covered Shidda, right? Shidda means strength, right? Shidda means there's strength in the sound because the sound is blocked. In all these letters, if you remember, what Shidda was, you can see, and if you remember what Jahar is, you know all these letters are letters of Jahar, and they're also the letters of Shidda, right? There is no air, there is no running of air in these letters, and there is no running of sound. So you have two things happening: no running of air, no running of sound in these letters. Because of the lack of running of sound and because of the imprisonment of the sound, there is strength in these letters, and also there is strong reliance on the articulation area, right? On the articulation point of these letters. So what exactly we are going to look at now is qalqalas of three types. Okay, qalqala is of three types. One is qalqala kubra, which is the strongest qalqala, and then you have qalqala wusta, which is the medium qalqala, and you have qalqala sughra. Okay, so if you look at qalqala, let me look at if I can pull out this. Okay, here in this slide, in this group, right, in this slide, they have used only two categories of qalqala. But from the book that I follow, along with this, I follow another book which makes it very easy to understand. And the reason why I'm using the classification of the other book is because it makes more sense. Okay, I will explain it to you in detail. So, what is qalqala kubra? I'm going to write that down here so that it's easy for you. Okay, let me see if I can pull out a new page. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can pull out a new page. Yeah. Okay. Bismillah. Qalqala. Qalqala kubra. Okay. Okay. And what is qalqala kubra? There are three groups. I said it. Qalqala kubra. Qalqala wusta. And the third is qalqala sughra. Okay, there are three types: qalqala kubra, qalqala wusta, and qalqala sughra. When if you have a qalqala letter that comes at the end of the word, okay, that comes at the end of the word. Look, listen to what I'm saying. It comes at the end of the word. So what do you do when it comes at the end of the word? It should also that the letter has to be a qalqala letter. It should come at the end of the word, and it should have a shadda. A shadda is, it should be a qalqala letter with a shadda. So when you have a qalqala letter coming at the end of the word and it has a shadda on it, and you are stopping at that word, okay, you're stopping at that word. Like if you look at Surah Masad, which has all the three examples, we will go through this. The word watab, right? It's actually watab. Watab. So you have أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. Okay, it's actually watab. right? وَتَبَّ. But when I stop, I stop with a sukoon. So when I stop at this word, I'm stopping with a sukoon. So when I'm stopping, this is the way I'm stopping, okay? Tab, this ba with a shadda means there are two bas. Okay, the first ba has a sukoon and the second ba has a this haraka. Okay, the fatha on it. Okay, ba with a shadda. The shadda means there are two bas. First ba with a sukoon or a jazm as you call it in India, Pakistan, and the second ba with the haraka that's sitting on top of the shadda, which is the fatha. Now, when I am stopping here, I'm giving the letter a sukoon. So I have wow, ta with a fatha plus ba. I'm giving the ba sukoon. So that's the reason when two bars here, sukoon with sukoon now. So that's the reason why it is kubra. Okay. So now I'm going to make the qalqala strong. Watab. Okay. Watab. Both together give a strong qalqala. This is qalqala. What is this called? Qalqala kubra. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Let's look at qalqala wusta. Again, qalqala wusta. So remember, sisters, qalqala kubra will only happen when there is shadda on the qalqala letter and you are stopping at that word. And the word that has the qalqala letter will be the last letter. The qalqala letter will be the last letter of the word watab. Okay? Okay. So that is qalqala kubra. What is qalqala is wusta? Qalqala wusta is when the qalqala letter comes at the end of the word, but it does not have a shadda. It has only a sukoon or it has a haraka. Like if you look at the second ayat of Surah Al-Masad, keep your Qurans open. If you want to open your Surah Al-Masad, Surah Al-Lahab, that's called Surah Al-Lahab or Masad. Open your Quran and see Surah Al-Masad and look at the second ayah. You will notice that the last word here is kasab. Okay, let me write that down. Kasaba. Okay, kasaba. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab. Okay, now here it is kasab, right? Kasab. So I'm stopping at the word kasab. So when I stop, what's the rule of stopping? I give the last letter a sukoon, right? Okay, what if I'm not stopping? If I'm saying kasaba, do I do qalqala? If I continue and I don't stop, I join the second and third ayat of Surah Al-Masad. Do I do qalqala on kasaba? No. Only if I stop at kasab, if I stop at the word kasab, then I will do a qalqala wusta. So here, qalqala wusta is happening because I'm stopping. Okay. Sometimes you find words like here in the middle of the ayah, wajad. Okay, like the word wajad. Okay, when you see wajad, then you will make a qalqala wusta here. Okay, so you will see in qalqala wusta, the qalqala letter comes at the end of the word. It can have a haraka, it can be mutaharrik. Mutaharrik means the letter can have a haraka or it can be with a sukoon. So that is qalqala wusta. But remember, it comes at the end of the word. It comes at the end of the word. That's qalqala wusta. Next, you have qalqala sughra. If you look at qalqala sughra, the letter will come in the middle of the word. Okay, it will come in the middle of the word. And again, we'll go back to your ayah in Surah Al-Lahab. You will see. Let's look at the next ayah. Do you see a qalqala letter in this ayah? Sayasla naran data lahab. Yes, I do. Lahab again. I'm stopping at lahab. So you see a ba coming at the end of the word of lahabin. and I stop there. So I put a sukun on the ba, so it's lahab. Okay, and it's not going to be a strong qalqala like qalqala kubra. It's going to be a moderate qalqala. Okay, the next word, next ayah in the fourth ayah, وَامْرَأَتُهُ حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ. Right? I stop at hatabi. I said hatab. حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ. So again here, I'm stopping at ba. I'm going to make a qalqala wusta. Okay? And it's going to be lesser in degree of qalqala than qalqala kubra, but it is going to be more than the qalqala sughra. Okay, the last ayat is our example for qalqala sughra. And we know again here, the qalqala letter comes in the middle of the word. Okay, it comes in the middle of the word. It will always come in the middle of the word, and it will always come with a sukoon. Okay, it will always come with sukoon. Like the word hablun. Okay. Hablun. So when I do the word hablun, I don't say hab. I don't say hablun. Okay, I don't put too much strength in the qalqala. Let me read this ayah for you. في جيدها حبل حبل. So don't make the qalqala too strong here. It's the lightest qalqala in strength. Okay. So that was qalqala. We are done with the 3 different kinds of qalqala. We'll go back to our book again. We'll go back to the sifat that we still have to cover. Inshallah, it's going to be our next sifa, which is going to be the sifa of tafashi. We do tafashi, ghunna, and then we are done. Inshallah. Okay. Now tafashi, there's only one letter in the sifa of tafashi, and that's the letter sheen. And you know sheen is from the letters of shajariya, right? Shajariya meaning the middle of the tongue. We know the middle of the tongue letters are jim, sheen, and ya, mutaharika, right? So we know these 3 letters are the letters of tafashi. These 3 letters are the letters from the middle of the tongue. But from that, only one, the letter sheen, is the letter of tafashi. Okay? And we will see why. I'll explain it to you why. Why is sheen a letter of tafashi? Okay. First of all, you need to remember the makhraj of sheen, which we know is the middle of the tongue. The second thing we need to remember, the sifa of sheen, is it a shidda letter, is it a jahar letter, or a hams letter, or is it a raqaba letter or a shidda letter? So these 2 sifas are very important to remember. Of course, all of them are important to remember, but when you know these 2 sifat really well, then you can figure out the rest of the sifat. Okay, so you know tafashi means there is spreading of the sound. Okay, there's gushing out of the sound. The sound spreads. So this spreading of the sound is the reason why you have this sh sound in sheen. Shh, shh, the ash sound, right? So when I do the makhraj of sheen, when I put a hamza before sheen and give sheen a sukoon and I say ash, I can feel the sound gushing out. It's the best word to use here is gushing of sound. Gush, right? That is spreading of the sound. Spread the sound of the letter sheen starting from its articulation point. And the reason why this happens is, remember the tongue, the middle of the tongue, the makhraj of sheen is raised up to the heart palate, is raised up towards the heart palate, right? The back of the tongue is lowered, and the front of the tongue, the tip of the tongue is also close to the teeth, right? Lower teeth. Okay, so what is happening now is the sound. Now I'm going to draw this for you. Hopefully it will make more sense. This is your heart palate. This is your hard palate. Okay, this is your hard palate. And this is your tongue. Okay, this is your tongue. Okay, I'm like this. This is more like a tree, like the canopy of a tree. The tree, when you see the canopy of the tree, the top part is the canopy here, and the lower parts are low. This is how your tongue is also in your mouth. Okay, but it's more closer. Okay, this is more closer. This part is more closer. Okay, and this part is down here. This part is down. So when the sound, remember, for sheen, there is running of two things. There is running of air, plus there is running of sound. Two things are happening in sheen: running of air and running of sound. So when the sound and air in the letter, they pass from a area which is open here, and then they come in through a narrow area. They come in from a area which is open here, and then they go through a narrow area, and then they come again into an area which is more, there is more room for them to move. The sound gushes out. That is tafashi. Okay, it's moving from a thick, from a area where there is more area, then moving through a narrow passage, and then gushing out into an area that has, there is more room. So that's the reason why you have tafashi happening, which is the gushing of the sound, because the sound is moving through a very narrow space here. Again, this is how it shows over here. From a place where there is room here for it to move, it squeezes in through that small narrow opening, and then it again gushes out. Okay, so that is the fashi. Okay, so I think this is pretty clear. No, don't need much of understanding here, because it's very simple and it's very clear. Okay, the next one we're going to do is the gunna, right? The gunna. And we know that the gunna letters are only two letters: letter noon and letter meme, right? We know the letters of gunna, noon, and meme. Intrinsic character of these letters is, whether you like it or not, okay, you will be making a gunna invariably on these letters. Even if it's an idhar, even if the rule of idhar is happening, because it is an intrinsic trait of these two letters, there will be gunna. There will be gunna. Even if you are being told that you are making an idhar here the gunna will happen, but it will not be like the gunna of mim mushadda, noon mushadda, or an ikhfa or an idgham gunna. But there will be slight gunna, because the letter itself has gunna. You can't separate the gunna from the letter. Okay, so a nasal sound. What is gunna? It's nothing but a nasal sound that is emitted from the nose. Now, if you remember the makhraj of noon and mim, these two letters have two areas of articulation areas, right? If you remember noon, the two areas of articulation are the tip of the tongue and through the nose, right? For noon, both noon and meme, there are two areas: noon, the tip of the tongue, and the nasal area, and meme, the lips and the nasal area. And what is the important thing you have to remember here? Both noon and meme have partial running of sound and partial blocking. For noon, the sound is blocked at the tip of the tongue, but it runs through the nose. For meme, the sound is blocked at the lips, but it is running through the nose. So that's the reason why they are letters of tawassut, right? They are the letters of tawassut, because two things are happening here. So this running of sound through the nose gives its distinct quality of the ghunna. This ghunna happens because the sound is running through the nose. Okay, so the ghunna cannot be, as again, I'll keep in mind, sister, the ghunna cannot be separated from these two letters and is an inherent part of their makeup. Okay, so when you are learning the rules of noon and meme sakina, keep this in mind. Okay, the next thing we have to do is is the sifa of lean. Yeah, okay, we know the lean letters we have covered the mud letters. We know the mud letters are alif, waw, and ya. Now you have the letters of leen, they say, and it is called, the letters of leen are waw and ya. How are these letters differ from the letters of mud? For mud letters, waw and ya will be mad ya and mad waw if they both have sukoon on it. And if waw sukoon has to be preceded, before waw sukoon, there should be a letter that has a dhamma on it. For waw sukoon to be a mad letter, the waw sukoon should have a letter before it that has a dhamma. And for ya sukoon to be a mad letter, the letter before it has to have a kasra, right? Now, this is mad waw and mad ya. But what we are doing now, the different trait is, the different sifa is, we are doing the sifa of leen. Okay? And the sifa of leen is, here again you have two letters. You have the letters waw and ya. You have the letters waw and you have ya. The only difference here is waw has to have a sukoon, ya has to have a sukoon, and the letter before it has to have a fatha on them. Okay? Waw sukoon preceded by a letter that has a fatha, and ya sukoon preceded by a letter that has a fatha. Okay? So what is the linguistic definition? It's ease. Okay? It's easiness. Emitting the letter from its articulation point with ease, and there is no effort from the tongue. Okay? Okay. Now let's look at the letters here. The letter ya sukoon is preceded by a fatha. So the word is Quraysh. So what do? I stretch the sound to 1.5. Okay, I stretch this sound. I join the ra with the ya, and I don't just I pull the sound a minimal of 1.5 haraka. Okay, for mud letters we pull it to 2 counts, but for leen letters it will be stretched to 1.5. Of course, the rules of there's going to be a different rule coming up when we do mud rules, and we'll explain in detail when we do those rules. When leen letter, when a harf leen will be used while in case of stopping, and the rules will change over there, but inshallah we'll discuss that when we do that in detail. So Quraysh, right? Yeah. لإيلاف قريش. Quraysh, right? Okay. So Rai, don't say Rai. Okay. Rai. Okay. Okay. Then khawf, right? You don't say khawf. You say khawf, right? And then al-bayt, right? Al-bayt, bay. So that if you hear the sound of ya sukun, you will hear the sound of I, by, tai, fai. So you can hear the sound of I. Okay, and in waw sukun, you can hear the sound of right? Like here, how. Okay, like bow. So examples, a lot of leen you will see in the Quran. So when you come to a leen harf, these are the harf leen are waw and ya. When you come to the harf waw and ya, make sure you make the stretch it to 1.5 counts. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah, we are done with our sifatul huruf, and inshallah we will again go through this in detail, because we have to look at each and every letter. And for that, before we look at each and every letter, I want you to study and prepare and get yourself well acquainted with the sifat that we have covered so far, so that when we discuss each and every letter, I want you to come up and tell me what the sifa of each letter is, because now you have a clear picture of what you're looking at, right? And this chart here, right? This chart that comes up next in page number 98 beautifully gives you all the sifa and the makhraj um, of every letter, and they've grouped it according to the makharij, right? Like you have the first group here, which is the group of the halq letters, right? The huruf halq, right? And then you have the lisan letters. See how beautifully they have put them together. And in this second in the sifat, they have highlighted the sifats that are strong sifats, and the sifats that are strong are highlighted in red, and the sifats that weaken the letter are highlighted in blue, and the sifat that are in between, that is neither weak neither strong, are in black. So it's very beautifully illustrated here. It's not illustrated, it's beautifully defined here. And you will see in the notes, so here, based on the sifat, that is, you see, look at the letter over here, we are going to see Hamza here. You see Hamza has two strong sifat, the sifat of shidda and jahar, and it has two weak sifat. It's a sifat of istifal and infitah, and ismat is in between. So with two strong and two weak, Hamza becomes a moderate letter, meaning it is in between. It's neither a strong letter nor a weak letter. Now look at the next one here, where they have shown us the letter ha, and you know ha is from aqsa al-halq, and you know that ha has the sifa of hams, there's air that is flowing. It has rakhawa, that is sound flowing. It has istifal, because the tongue is not raised up, like in it's tarqiq, right? Istifal is another word for tarqiq. And it is infita, that is, the tongue is not raised up to the roof of the mouth. And it is ismat. So all the letters, all the sifat over here are weak sifat. So it is one of the weakest letter, because it has all weak sifat. The ismat actually is got to do with Lughat al-Arabiya. So we will not consider ismat, but if you look at the other letters here, other sifat here, it makes the sifat of the letter ha the weakest. Okay, so we will go through this inshallah again. Alhamdulillah, we'll stop with this today. Inshallah, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.